And, if this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me. I'm 39 years old. I'm married with children, and I've been overweight my whole life. I decided last year that I really needed to do something about it. And, I know in the past I've been on all kinds of diets. I've tried so many different things to lose weight. And when I really focus, I can do well at losing weight, but I have a hard time with um, keeping the weight off or sustaining the weight loss once I get there. And so this time I wanted it to be different and I wanted it to last. So, I kind of looked at what I've learned over the years and, I started to develop this challenge or, this whole thing. And, two of the areas where I really felt like I failed myself in the past is one, not sticking to a diet for a lifetime or for as long as it takes, and the other is setting my goals shorter than I should, and you know thinking that if I get to this weight, then that'll be what I need to do. And so, with those things in mind, that's where kind of my two main goals when I started this were to focus on this or do it for 3 years and to lose a large amount of weight, to get down to a weight that, and even now that I'm in it, my goals are maybe even more than that. But when I set out, it was to lose 300 pounds, to get under 220 pounds. And so that is the big focus for me on this diet. Today is weigh-in Wednesday. Like I said, it's day 200, so I'm excited to see where I'm at after 200 days here, and just compared to where I was 200 days ago, it's amazing. So let's get this up on the screen and then we will go from there. 340.8, which is great. Is great. All right. So 340.8. So that means I lost 0.6 of a pound from last week. So that is really exciting to have lost the weight. Give me 1 second to get my shoes back on here. If anybody has any updates they want to give on their weight, I'd love to hear them. And then, if you have any non-scale victories, I'd love to hear that as well. Carrie says that she forgot to weigh in today, but was down 1.2 pounds on Monday. Yeah, I know we had talked last week about, you didn't lose a lot from Wednesday to Wednesday, but then, on Monday you got on, you were pretty excited to have been down 1.2 pounds from the Wednesday before. So hopefully you're even better than that now. So that is great. So down, let me update this here. I said it was 340.8. So let me get that now. So this isn't as low as my lowest weight was. I don't remember exactly what my lowest weight was now, but I know it was a little bit lower than the 348.8. Hey, awesome pigeon, how's it going? I hope things are going well for you. It's been a little while. Things have been going really good on my end. I lost 0.6 today, which is great. I had a little bit of a gain last week, but overall, from my 6 month weigh-in where I was 344, I'm down, 3 pounds here halfway through the month. And I really feel like I'm kind of in a good spot to, maybe I'm on a downward trend again as well, which would be great. But, the big things that I got from this week over last week is that I had, I definitely ate more. I didn't I try to take photos of kind of food that I've been eating, but I don't like take photo like if I eat two bowls of something and things like that. But I have uh, I've been trying to focus on eating a little bit more volume of food and just making sure that that volume of food has a lower calorie density, and just having that go through my system, it's felt really good to kind of I've definitely noticed a difference in my energy and everything overall from actually kind of, like I said, actively trying to increase the amount of food that I have been eating. Um, and so to have that kind of, and today walking around, I really am starting to feel very slim, just kind of it. I don't know if it's the way the clothing is starting to fit me now, or if it is just me being more comfortable in my own, body. So that's been really great. Uh, the other stuff I was gonna I posted a few. Carrie's asking if I had been posting my pics on Instagram for the food, and I did post a few pics, but I haven't oh, those food pics on Instagram. Yeah, I did post one the other day that it definitely, the photo looked really good. The meal might not be one that we do again. So uh but yeah, it's weird because I needed to start doing more photos on Instagram, but I feel weird doing just food photos all the time. I know that there's people that probably do that. Uh, that's their whole Instagram is them doing food photos. But I'm gonna figure out that or work on getting that more. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, it is at Fasting. That is FAHSTING. Uh, and you can follow me there for those awesome food pics, because the only food pics I post on there are the pictures of the food that Carrie prepares for me, because the pictures of the food that I prepare for me aren't that they don't look as good, I guess we'll put it that way. um so yeah, like I said, it's awesome to have lost the weight. I'm feeling really good. uh I've been really uh been getting into Awesome says, I see those pictures pop up and it always makes me realize how bad you are at cooking. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's been something that me and Carrie have talked about multiple times, is that it takes a lot of effort to prep, complicated meals. And it was actually part of what I was going to talk about today. Was that I really am happy that I'm in a position where I'm I feel like I'm abstaining from the system, or I'm abstaining from the food industry's game that they're playing by eating the way that we eat. There, Carrie, we were talking earlier today, and she had brought up that she was listening to a podcast where they were talking about the ingredient labels on food, and how that it's kind of a numbers game that the food industries developed, that they work, what they advertise on the front of the box doesn't necessarily what is in the product, or that it may be hiding that they are increasing other things in order to remove kind of those things that are hot button or key term items from the diet. And the thing that I always think about, or it always brings me back to, is the 2% milk. That not that I ever really thought about it or took the time to think about 2% milk, but that it's 2% milk fat by volume, and it's not 2% of fat by calories. And so the actual calories in like 2% milk is it's actually 35% of the calories that you get from drinking a serving of 2% milk is from fat, and 46% of the calories that you drink, and that's just, I'm not 100% those are exact numbers, but it's, I know that they're around those numbers. But it's just crazy that the calorie percentage is way higher than if they had to advertise that it was 35% calories from fat, then people would not be grabbing it off the shelves as much as they're like, well, 2% is better than whole milk. And, and so it also kind of leads into how it's not necessarily our fault that we're addicted to these foods or these items. They do so many different things to kind of get us to buy their products, and it's stuff that we've been, I mean, I remember being taught in high school and in college in my marketing classes how the food industry, that they pay extra money to have the cereals at the children's eye level, and that they put the items that people buy, like the staples, like the eggs and the dairy items, in the back of the store, so that you have to walk through the whole store. So, and so it's those things are seen as clever marketing tactics or essential marketing tactics, so that they can stand out against the crowd of people trying to sell you the product. And even like with the Saturday morning cartoons that you go, as a kid, I can remember specific Saturday morning cartoons, and they become part of the the at least the American kind of way of life. Like, you say they're great, and everybody knows you're talking about Frosted Flakes. And you could say so many different things. Mikey likes it. That's Life cereal. It's probably a health. I don't even know if that's a healthy cereal. I know there's sugar in it, um, but they would market these things to us on Saturday morning. Or the Keebler elves. Like, I remember the Keebler elves, the tree. I could probably draw it on a piece of paper right now. That it's been something that was so ingrained in me, uh and it was accepted. And maybe it was accepted because it could be a number of things, but uh maybe in part it's because it's they had sugar and those things on the food pyramid. And like, if it's a little bit is acceptable, then it's okay to advertise for it. I mean, you look at the cigarette industry. As soon as they were able to start, uh, like the Joe Cool or Joe Camel, like the Camel cigarettes, they use that Camel. And there was any indication that once there was any indication that that was being marketed towards children, they pulled the plug on it. But at the same time, you have Tony the Tiger, you have the Lucky Charms guy, you had I mean, they all had different type of characters marketing their thing. Uh and we just let it happen. And it still happens. And it's not anything that uh I think that it's as much as, if you're going to allow us to be inundated with that type of marketing from the time, I mean, you're allowing a company to spend millions of dollars to produce a 30-second ad and send that to the eyeballs of a 4-year-old. Like, I think about what my kids see all the time, and how it's so unregulated now. But it's crazy that when it was way, everything I watched growing up was regulated television. Was on, you know and so uh but yeah, so they're marketing to, and then I'm walking down the aisles at 10 years old and they have the Fruit Loops there and I see the Toucan Sam and I start pulling it off the shelves and uh there's all kinds of different reasons why it could, like you know, but it's just crazy that um it's been accepted and we're okay with it and I'm just happy, I guess, that I'm abstaining from that. Right now, all of the food that me and Carrie eat, we we buy as single ingredient items and we make our own food. And that's, I think that's part of the solution for me is abstaining from it and not allowing I was marketed to for 38 years and they continued to beat me down and win every time. I mean, I drive by the fast food restaurants now and I see the you know well I now it says now hiring on the signs, but it used to say um different things like whatever their newest burger was, or jalapeno poppers are back or whatever, and I crank the wheel and turn in. um and so the yeah, so now by making our food, I mean, and if I start to stumble, if I'm not losing weight, or there's the things that I can cut out Ezekiel bread, I can cut out nut butter, and I can cut out Lara bars. Those are all items that we don't make ourselves that I would easily, be, if removed from my diet, would remove any hurdles because those are the most processed things that we eat. Carrie said that the companies don't have our best interests at heart, and they don't, but they also, and this is something that's come up a little bit that we've talked about through the pandemic, is that uh, the companies are required by they'll be sued by their shareholders if they don't make the most money possible for the company. So if they are faced with the decision that says, hey, if we put 4 grams of sugar in this item, we're going to sell 1 million units. But if we put 8 grams of sugar, we're going to sell 6 million units. And if there's no proof that that would cause any detriment to the customer, then those people in charge, if they don't make that decision to make the more money, they can be sued by the shareholders later down the line because they made a decision that wasn't in the best interest for an outside party. And Pigeon was saying here that the food advertisement really messed with him for the first few months of the diet. You drive past a billboard, there's a gigantic cheeseburger, and yeah, it's crazy. And the yeah, and and it's so tough. It's really tough to and they talk about it a little bit, in the Pleasure Trap book. He talks about it with a personal relationship where if you allow, let's say, your sister to get you to break your diet, like you allow, the scenario they give in the book is that you go to a family function and your relative had made a casserole that they know that you enjoy. And then but that casserole is not on your diet. It's whatever, bacon and butter casserole. And so uh when they present that to you and you say, no, that's okay. And then they're like, but I made it special for you. And it's just a little bit, if you allow them to beat you, like, and it's like, if you just be like, all right, you know what? Sure, I'll have a bite of it. No problem. Then the next time you go to that special occasion and they bring that bacon butter casserole out, and they say, hey, I know you love it, you couldn't resist it, right? Here's some more. You're gonna be more likely to break that. And that happens with these fast food restaurants, I feel like, as well, where we allow Taco Bell to break us for their breakfast burrito because maybe you allow Subway to break you or something. Like you allow one of these fast food restaurants to break you because you convince yourself, and then you continue to allow them. It's easy for them to do that in the future when you're trying to go on, trying to go down a healthy road again. um and Carrie said that she had a rough day today, and she was just getting the kids something, and it was tough. And yeah, Pigeon says you take friends through the drive-through. You don't take them through the drive-through because it's too much. Yeah, and there's no reason to uh, put yourself through the pain if you don't have to. And that was something that maybe I got from that AJ a little bit too, is just talking about, is that if they're your friends, then they will understand that you need to have that kind of negotiation between you and them on your relationship with food. They talked about if you had a family of four and one of the family members was in a wheelchair and needed to have a ramp built to get into the house, you wouldn't look at that person and say, hey, the other three of us can get in. You're going to figure out your own way. You're going to build a ramp for that person. And if you have a group of friends or a family that one of the people has an issue with over being obese or weight, then everybody around them should be willing to build that ramp that they need, and them, not making you buy them fast food or be, make you do those things. Um, so Pigeon says, I said allow Subway to break you. And he said Subway for lunch for the last 200 days, but Subway has broken him. Yes. And everybody's diet is different. Subway would be definitely outside of our diet versus the diet that you're going on, that you're doing. And yeah, awesome pigeons. The new no, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence because you don't want to be related to that story anymore at all. Don't even Google the name. I don't think it's good anymore. So, but yeah. So it's just crazy. I mean, and it's nice to be on kind of this side of it where it would feel weird to have any food of any type of process. um Awesome says he's the last creepy Jared. You could use some of those Subway bucks. Yeah, I bet. The um but yeah, it's been good to sit here. I'm 200 days in, and I mean, I'm in a completely different spot than I was 200 days ago. And 200 days from now is like, I think it's December 5th or 6th. I can't remember. I looked it up, but uh, it'll be crazy to see where I'm at 200 pounds from, or not 200 days from now. I don't anticipate to be being down another 186, what is 88 pounds, 84 pounds, 88 pounds. 78. Gosh, anyways, I'm not even gonna try to do the math anymore. You guys can do it. Over 175, we'll say that. It's nice to be down that much in 200 days. If I'm even down a quarter of that in the, what I lost in the next 200 days, if I'm under 300 pounds by Christmas, that's amazing. It's not anything that I would have expected even going into this, or I didn't know what to expect going into this. I just knew that I wanted to do something for a long time. It's not about just getting to my weight. I mean, it's getting to the weight's going to be great, but it's when I get there, I need to know what to do. And it's it's nice to have that big chunk of weight off. I mean, you look at the different, I lost that 90 pounds, and that alone is just a life-changing amount of weight there. And that, really felt like that was just the start of this. I mean, it was um less than 25% of the time that I've done, the way I'm eating now. So it is, you know, it's great to be down the point 0.6 I was down today. And I'm going to be back on here tomorrow, and I'll be on Friday as well. I really appreciate you guys being in chat today here. If you guys haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Click on the bell icon to turn on notifications. I mentioned the Instagram before. It is at Fasting. That's FAHSTING. And then we also have a Discord down in the description below. If you want to join in on the Discord, you can become part of the family, and we can you can talk about how your weight loss is going, and let us know if you're having struggles or challenges getting started. Maybe we can help you get started. That is kind of the biggest thing. To Awesome says he's glad to catch one. It's good talking to everyone. I'm glad seeing. Yeah, we're doing really good. I mean, as far as yeah, our moods and our attitude and everything, it's been going great. So yeah, you can join the Discord. Carrie shares a lot of the different foods that are kind of our regular foods that we eat, and then on the Discord, and then the yeah, just a great spot to talk to me or ask questions when when I'm not here live. So anyways, thanks for checking out the broadcast. If you haven't started a diet, there's no reason not to start now. There's it's going to be something that it's worth changing your life over. It's definitely changed my life so far. So everybody have a great evening. We will see you tomorrow.